Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday. I'm actually sad it's a Friday. That means I got 3 days off left. It's 3 days. I gotta go back to work. It's nothing about it. It's nothing about it. Hello, Blue Sneaker. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Today has been a day of headaches. You get 2 Thanksgivings? No. Why would I get 2 Thanksgivings? I'm in Canada. I'm not in the US. I don't follow US holidays. I follow Canadian holidays. Yeah, I'm in Canada. Canada under Canadian contract. Which means I get 2 less holidays than the US. Or 2 less days off than the US this year. So that's my reason to dislike America. Because they get 2 more days off than me. Seriously? Yeah. Yep. They get 2 days for Thanksgiving. We get 1. So that's 1 extra day. And for some reason, my job had the US company, the US side, also take a day off that was a Canadian holiday. So did you get an extra day that, and I get nothing. So they get extra 2 days off total compared to the Canada at where I work, and I get the middle finger. Basically. Yeah, I finally got something. Jesus Christ. I was going to do the video on the polygons and creating the road and stuff. It's so convoluted and so much of it doesn't work that I recorded it and I just was not happy with it, and I was like scrambling today to figure out something to do for Sunday. So like I spent the time to like many hours to research it, to do it, to record it, and I was like, I can't. It's too bad. And so I pivoted hard. And now I got something, which I posted on. It's one of the ones that we were talking about. It's this. It's lights, it's spooky, you know, lights turning on, flickering, random flickering, or they just turn on and off based on the player kind of location. Very simple to do using PCG. You could spawn this entire path and set it up for the lights to flicker and all that stuff very easily. So that was one of the things people wanted to see, and it's thematic with October. That's what I got. Hello, boy with stories. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Been work with level instances and adding BCG tripods with tags. And adding BCG. What do you mean adding BCG tripods with tags? As a just a tripod, like the mesh with the thing for camera. This is Sunday's video. I don't know. It's not much. It's not much, but You know, hopefully it'll be good enough. Ooh, what you eating? What you eating? Replace tags with actor types. Then filter by attribute elements. You're just spawning things. It just sounds like you're spawning things. Cool. I forgot to get a drink. I'll get one later. It's fine. Hey, Stormman, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You got your keyboard back? Yesterday you only had a mouse. Is that why you only sent emotes yesterday? What do you mean you got your keyboard back? What the hell happened to it? Kind of dev that eats whatever keeps the body going. So currently it's a mixture of oatmeal and protein shake. I mean, hey, as long as you enjoy it. So you can add blueprints to level instances. You can add blueprints to level instances already. What do you mean? Hey, Patrol, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Whatever keeps your fingers in the terminal. Your investments matured again. You're getting a bigger yacht. You're getting another yacht? Or are you replacing your current yacht with a bigger yacht? Just wasn't working. You blamed your cat, but your USB port isn't working, so you switch ports. Ah. Gonna trade it in. So you like the yacht. Enough. That means to get a bigger one. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Well. Level instances can't hold blueprints? Yes, it can. What? Level instances can hold anything. Packed level instances can't. Packed level instances can only hold static meshes. But regular level instances can hold everything. Yes, packed. Okay. They're different. They are different. So, yeah, level instances can hold whatever you'd like. They're effectively just a level with a pivot. Yeah, the tags, you can replace them. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Absolutely. Some dude talking about bigger yachts, and here I sit dreaming of a non-broken CPU so you can go back to your actual setup. If it makes you feel better, he's the only one with a yacht. The rest of us are yacht free. I'm still saving up for a down payment, which is extra difficult because I got a raise, and the raise is now me earning less money because tax stuff got messed up, which is a which is ironic. So it's even slower for me. Anyway. You're next to where they build the aircraft carriers? Cool. 13th gen Intel CPU nightmare. I have a 14th gen one. I got one not too long before they announced that they had issues with 13th and 14th gen. It was a great, like, oh yeah, I got a new computer. Oh yeah, here's a middle finger. Oh, that was great to find out. So. You didn't realize how big they were? Each one is as big as the entire city of Norfolk? Either that's a tiny city or a big, or they're just big. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks if you gotta unlucky with a CPU. You have an i3 from 2010 with 4 cores. Yeah, as long as it's fine for you. As long as you're fine with it, that's all that matters. So, yesterday, we kind of wrapped up the melee stuff. Which is doing yomp, yomp, yep, and follows the stairs, and yep, which also follows. So those are the 4 attacks. Which let me turn off the debug so we can see them better. Yeah, it's been a few improvements, Patrol. Been a few improvements. So one more time. There's full screen. Attack 1. Attack 2. Attack 3. And attack 4. Obviously, then we still have these. Right. So we got all of those set up, but we need to start working on the ranged ones. Oh, what am I doing? Ranged attacks. All the range power-ups. Bam! Did I not hit? Really didn't hit him? Oh well. Anyway. Thank you. I appreciate it. Your very long-range cruise was through the remnants of a hurricane. Well, as long as it wasn't through a hurricane itself, it was just the remnants of it, that's fine. You meant they bend down the stairs? That seems so much harder than just an effect. It was a checkbox storm run. I take no credit on the difficulty of that. It was a checkbox. I turned it on. I made sure that the attack trace was just very tall, so to account for it going down or up. That's all. Yeah, it's a good checkbox. But what we need to work on is this one, which is the projectile version. Hey, Loki, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Which is this. So, a couple of things. First of all, I want to spawn this. I kind of want to spawn this. I need to figure out how to actually want to spawn this. I guess it should be a certain distance away. Like it is now. It's fine. Certain distance away. But it should spawn it. It should do a trace at that distance away. That's first of all. So if I'm down the stairs and I try to spawn it up the stairs, it should spawn it higher up. So that's one. Two, we need to deal with the collisions happening somewhere else. Why is that? Hold on a second. That looks fine. What happened here? Hold on. What is going on here? I guess because it's trying to go onto the me see if I can just turn off the whole going along the actual terrain for this one. Because for this one, we don't want that. Yeah, let's turn off adaptive terrain on this one. On this one, it doesn't make sense to adaptive terrain. Oh, I forgot to. Review. So. Yeah, it'll float, but at least it'll... I feel like it's still better than the alternative. But we need to start with creating a scenario where we can spawn a delayed collision. So we start with that. Or basically a delayed attack. How we would do a delayed attack is the real question, because I had a realization. It's possible we'll need to do multiple traces at the same time effectively. Like, for example, I could have one ability up that is doing the damage, and also my regular attack that's doing the damage. So right now, it's all using this execute attack. And then it's doing the trace attack, but the problem with this is, well, it can only happen once. I can only do this as one thing. Now, theoretically, what I could do is on when doing the spell version, I could do a different one of these. So I can have it be a spell, and then I would have access to another one. The spells do one version, and then actual melee attacks do another. So maybe we could try with that. Spell trace timer. So the only problem is the current attack trace. But I guess when it sends the information through, so let's say a scenario where it sends turn on for one and turn off. Yeah, it would filter here. So then this gets reset, but then we check it later. Yeah, this should be fine. This should be fine. Theoretically. Spell trace. And then we go here. So it'll do the same information because it is, well, the same functions, but it should help, which means that on here, right, and we need to do spell. So theoretically, Let's grab you. Ooh. That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right. I'm doing damage though. I think? No, I'm not doing damage. It's why is it tracing all this time? Hold on. Why is it continuing to trace? Is it because I stopped the animation? No. Okay. Does it never stop the animation? Is that the problem? Thank you. Finally decided to duplicate. What is the problem here? Okay, there's true. And never does false. Why does it not do false? Well, there's the problem. Why is this not triggering? What's going on? Let's do 3 frames. Just see if that helps. Oops. Gotta pick up the weapon. Okay. On the list of things that I wasn't expecting to troubleshoot right now. Because no matter what, it should replace this. Hello, true hello. Okay, hold on. So it did hello twice, which means this got triggered twice. Oh, I got it. I got it. It's because I'm not sending through the attack info here, which means it doesn't know the version, the attack that's supposed to be, so that hopefully fixes the problem. Which also begs the question of, how was it fine before? Yeah. Okay, so that works. Okay, here's the question, next question that I have. Could I do a notify here that has a delay longer than the animation? Like, could I do a delay of 5 seconds? I doubt this, but I can try it. Because if it works, then this is the easy solution. Yeah, wow! You can! Really now? Okay. I didn't think you could do this. Okay. Or to a variable. This is going to be attack delay. So that means that here I could have this happened right here. And then there's attack delay. And if I delayed it by, let's say, 3 seconds. So let's make sure the original one should still work fine. The melee ones, I mean. Yep. Yep, no issues. What happened? The first, it immediately triggered it, and now it's not triggering it at all.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Oh, now it's not working. Okay. I'm gonna get a drink while the ads are going. Be right back. I'm back. So the delay doesn't work. Huh. Okay. Okay, we'll see after that what's going on, if it's reading the information or not, or what's going. Let's do 2 print strings. One before the delay, one after the delay. So it'll print the same number twice. 3. Oh, now it prints 3. Oh, so now it's working. Because print string, of course, always fixes problems. If I now change the delay to, I don't know, 1.5. I think it keeps printing it because this is playing. Just pause that. I'm like, why is it printing? Okay. Seems like it's working. .75. We need to see the timing of it. When do I need to put it in? Oh. That was pretty good. I think just a moment earlier, like 0.65 instead of 0.75. But that looked pretty good. And theoretically, the spell should work. It should work with, yep. That all works together. Okay. I can stop it. So if I did this and then dashed. Ooh. Ah, okay, but the location of it is relative to me. Okay. So this would work, but not this way. Okay. So what we need to do really is go back here. So we know this is all working. I don't want the delay here. Okay. What I want to do is spawn an actor that has all this set up for spell version. Elliot, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Having to remove the Niagara stuff from the main character, and you were like, how are you handling the ability stuff? After rediscovering the animation montage notifies? You know what I mean? The stuff from the character was my effects that I had going when the player was attacking, because I forgot that you could just put it on the animation. What do you mean by ability stuff? Because that's a very generic raw thing. Whatever abilities were tied to the Niagara system or in general. Do you mean like... Do you mean like this? Like these abilities? How about this? Because these are not tied to the Niagara system. The Niagara system goes off, and my regular damage attacking system goes off at the same time. They're not tied. They just both happen at the same time. The one that was referenced in the shorts, I guess? Oh, that was just, yeah. That was just the regular attack. That was just this effect. And I had multiple of them because of this. Right, because of this. Yeah. And they all use the same system. All uses the same system. Actually, I do want this to still be... Why does Unduce take so long? How do you do duplicate abilities? Is it just calling the same thing 3 times by offset? Yes. Effectively. All it is a loop that multiplies my rotation by 90 degrees for each thing in the loop. That's it. I do it 4 times, and each one just is rotated 90 degrees. Simple as that. Revision control is nice. Yeah, it's handy when you need it. Absolutely. This, I think I should tie, the spawning of the... No, I shouldn't tie it to this. I should have a separate one in case I ever need to have a location-based, trace. Okay, let's do blueprint class. Attack trace location. This is going to take on begin play. So this is going to do execute attack. It's going to have a delay. If I can spell. Start delay. I'm gonna do this. Turn on the trace. Then we're going to make attack info. Or actually here I can just do... I should pass this information through. So I'm gonna throw into a variable. Attack info. That'll be the simplest thing. Exposed. Then after a delay, which is also going to be a variable. Attack duration. We're going to do execute attack, but it's going to be off. That's all this is. Oh, it's a target. Crazy, I know. Okay. So you hit an infinite loop bug that took you 30 minutes to solve. Yay. What did you do? What was the infinite loop bug? And was it actually infinite loop? I've had those things say they're an infinite loop when they're not an infinite loop. Or at least when I couldn't find any infinite loops. Because it had delay until next tick somewhere or something like that. I was like, how's that infinite loop? You were genuinely calling the same function at some point that was bound to itself. So yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, I've done that before. I've called the same function inside of itself. Yeah. Yep. That checks out. So calling a different function that was supposed to be yeah. Yep. Spawn actor from class. No, we're right. We were going to do this. No, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here because he already has all the calculations and I'm lazy. If I need to have a separate one later on, I'll make a separate one. Spawn actor from class. We want to spawn you. Get oh, the sweet hip result. Oops. Get spawn system at location. Get or can I get world transform? Okay. Start delay. This is all going to go under delayed trace. Actually, I need a just a variable here of a boolean that's going to location trace. You now have hierarchical damage mitigation handling for abilities. Nice. You have minions that can absorb damage or force field shield or an ability with internal damage reduction. You can have all of them simultaneously. Nice. Specifies high, medium, low priority. And depending on that, it then redirects incoming damage from high to low abilities. It recursively calls until the damage is either negated completely or has already been reduced by the ability. It sounds complicated. It sounds good, but definitely complicated. I just, oh yeah, it just multiplies it by a certain percentage. Yeah, good enough. All multiplies. 20% reduction, 20% reduction, 20% reduction, done. Was it method wise that you should put into a function? Yeah, functions are great. I don't need target to be a thing here. That comes from character ref. Ignore collisions. Oh, and also I forgot that here after all this, goodbye. You can do flat reduction or flat shielding or percentage. The only technical gripe you have is it does not account for immunities. You can add that, I think. The question is, do you need that? Do you need everything you're doing for your game? It's not a matter of can you add all this stuff, because you definitely can. But do you need it? Is the mechanics need it? Yes. Okay. Carry on then. Shortest answer, yes. I mean, I feel like that's also the long answer. If it's not, I'm concerned. Here. Oh, goddamn. I hate this. You see how it says delayed trace and then again delayed trace? Oh, you can't see it. You see how it says delayed trace and delayed trace again? I hate this. I hate this about grouping. Because this happened. Because here, delayed trace without a space. And here, because I dragged onto it, it's with a space. I hate when you drag onto it because it has a space here. It's like, oh, we're going to put it into the version with a space. But somehow, it's still going to be fine here, just not when you actually want to use it. Thank you, Unreal. That is exactly what I wanted. Inconsistency. How did you know? Man, it's so good. It's just the best. Yeah, now it's all under one. But it opens up literally every capability for ability building. You've also implemented handling when an enemy dies, so you can put that in a global notify component in the game mode, then bind it to an ability. So you can have something that either spawns something at a dead enemy location or increase some tracking stat. It's interesting how different we've set things up. I find it interesting. I do find it very interesting. $500, $500, $400, $500. Attack duration. I don't know, 0.2 seconds? 0.1 seconds? You do like your decoupled systems? I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit for that. Damage scale. What's the damage scale that I put for this? I haven't yet. Let's do a damage scale of I don't know, 7. So we get rid of this attack one. And theoretically, this should now do a trace add a location after a delay. What? Uh... What? Why did it? Where was it? Where it was? Why is this here? Oh. The execute attack is, well, it doesn't matter where this thing is. It's using execute attack, which is obviously relative to my character. So instead of this, I need to... What I could do is, in the to make this simpler, what I can do, because I have, in the attack info, I have the trace information, I could add a Boolean here that has world location, be like world space, and then world space location. Start end. Or it's not a world space location, just world space start, and then it can go whatever direction it is. Yeah, it would need to be world start and end. Do I need a world start and end? I think for most things that are gonna be world location based, it will be, yeah, I'll need a start and end. How would I calculate the end? How would I store the end location? And you can also tap into that global notify system and do certain things. Enemy death and other possible global notifies. Yeah. I just have a function that happens on death, and in the child enemies, I just override that that function and add things for like enemies that I want enemies to do. That's all. Just interesting how we do things differently. Same result, but it's interesting. Here's what I'm thinking. So I can add a checkbox that says, hey, spawn, you know, the collision here. Easy. But what if I want the collision to be here? When my character attacks, he gets this rotation and he spawns it here. That's great and all. But the problem is, this is relative to the player's forward vector. I guess it doesn't matter. I can still use the player's forward vector. Because I could just, with my system, I cannot have multiple spells or multiple of one type of attack happening at the same time. And that's a problem, actually. That's actually a problem. Because that means I would not be able to have like a spell that leaves something on the ground. How come? Because originally this was designed, right? I've only recently implemented the hotbar system. This whole system currently works like this. You get a blueprint interface event trigger with the attack information that says, hey, do this attack. It has the trace information, it has all that information. It says how long to trace for, where do you trace. That is the executing of the attack. If this also holds the animation, this holds all the info. Then it does the tracing. Sorry, this is on the animation. So once the animation triggers, right, it checks, do I hit something? This is where the trace information happens. But then here, once it all goes through everything, I have all of this. So really what I need to do, I guess, is put all of this inside of a separate function. If I put it all in a separate function, then I can do it.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Because this goes off of whether or not I hit something with this trace, but yeah, I need to put it all in a separate function. Yeah. Parent ability class? I don't need a class. I just need to put this in a function. I just need to put, well, then I need to deal with attack trace result. The problem is I'm using timers. That's what the problem is. It's not, this is not the problem. The problem is this. Hey, Shastri, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the problem is not inside the function. The problem is the timer. Because I have it where like, okay, turn on and then turn off the trace. The music? No. No, I think this the music is mostly Avani sound, and there's another one. Oh, Chino, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. How do I get rid of the timers? If we could figure that out. I think that will solve a lot of the problem. When I do an attack, I need it to trace for a duration, which is why I'm using the timer. Right? And that makes sense. You do an attack, I don't want it to happen for only one frame. You have a solution? What is it? This is why we can't have multiple. This is why we can't have multiple things happen at the same time, because then it overrides the timer. Am I gonna apply for the Epic Grant? I mean, maybe in a year, once further along. I can't use delays. I can't do anything like that. I could spawn something. I could spawn something that does the trace, all the trace stuff, and the damage calculations. But I don't like spawning it because sometimes you want to have it attached and sometimes you're going to have it in the world. So I guess, I mean, you could have that be like a Boolean like checkbox. But I feel like spawning attacks and despawning just for hitboxes is not good. Like, you could add a component and remove a component, but again, that's not great either. You know, this is the first time I'm thinking about multiple attacks at the same time. Hum, hum, hum. Here's what. I need to trace over time. Could I do it with... Yeah, I can attach a collision. I don't like the idea of using collisions and then using... They begin and overlap because I've had issues with it. So I'd rather use the traces. If I can. I could create like on begin. I could create several. Oh no! See, I wouldn't be able to use a collision anyway because there are scenarios where I need to have like a line trace, etc., things of that nature, and he can't do that with just a collision. It has to be a trace. So collision's out. Is out. Definite trace. Let's see if Grok knows anything. So on Relation 5, I currently have multiple attack trace attacks happen at the same time. Currently, it's set up with a timer that enables, disables. No, that does the trace over time, but that doesn't work when there's multiple at the same time. Hey, that's welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Doing all right. Trying to figure stuff out because we're reworking stuff. Surprise, surprise. We're working stuff because other things that we've already been reworking is now making us rework this. Basically. I described that terribly. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it has any advice. Intermittent timers with handles with an array of yeah, that's what I want. Create a struct of attack and subtract each attack state, including fields of timer handle. What Sunday's video? If you go back to the very start of the stream, I showed off what I'm doing for Sunday's video. Set a timer using set timer by event. Or set timer by function name. But that's still using the same timer. I can't store a different variable based on a... How would I have different timer handles? Would I need many timers? Some things, yeah. Use timer system handles that dynamically behind the scenes. Each timer handle is just a lightweight struct, essentially a unique ID wrapper that gets generated automatically when you call set timer. Yeah, but yeah, but if you do it by function, no, let's. You need to do the trace on tick managed by animation. So it takes the trace for the entirety of the trace arc with the animation notifier. Yeah, you're probably right. But we also need to do it in the world. Potentially. It should be local and attached. So... So basically this entire thing... This entire part... Well, obviously minus the duplicates and things of that nature... would need to be inside of an anim... inside of the anim instance, right? Yeah, I'm remembering that too. Now you said that, the anim notify, I'm like, yeah, that's how it's normally done. It's just I never needed to do per animation, so I haven't needed it. But again, I would need to have it potentially be longer than the animation. So whatever it is needs to basically spawn That's the problem, is it needs to spawn this. And that's why I had it this way originally. So what I'm talking about is, let's say the animation length is this, but what I spawned is a long-lasting effect that lasts here. I cannot do the trace during the animation. Whatever it is has to be in the world, or just be able to be told that it lasts longer. So for the animations that happen during this, your method will work. For these, it will not. But once I fix this, theoretically I can make it easier on this. Theoretically. Okay. So instead of this execute attack, we're really going to need to do this. Which is going to need a lot of functions and everything else. I have to do a blueprint function library. Can a blueprint function library have timers or have timer by events? Somehow it's letting me create it, but I'm pretty sure no, because functions have to happen within one tick. So I don't think it's actually would let me do it. But functions happen in one tick, so something there is gonna break as soon as I try to use it. Okay, so we're going to need to cast to the character. So realistically, what we're going to need to do is for us to grab this. We're not going to need the timers on this version, but let's just figure this out. So from here, we need to hit you and then cast to the character base, which everyone that's using these will have, so it should be fine. Get do I need this current attack trace? I do for Vorpal Strike. So this is obviously going to be true. Set current attack trace. So it'll be true here. If current attack trace is false, yeah, then we Vorpal Strike. Right? Because this is going to be false. This is going to be true. Which means both of these will be true, in which case Vorpal Strike. I'm going to promote this to a variable. Character reference. And AC abilities. Huh? Oh, why can I not get AC abilities if I can get the thing inside of AC abilities? Okay, sure. Okay, Verbal Strike. And then it goes here. Okay. So that's step one. Okay, that's step one. Then we have on begin attack. So we can just do on begin attack. It's going to be true. And we can just grab attack info, plug this through. Switch on attack type. Break. Okay, so let's start with melee. Oh, I just realized. Override. We could do a timer here, right? I don't need to do a tick. Right? We're gonna find out. We're going to find out. It clears the hit actors, which are the hit actors that should be on the character reference. Thank you. Get hit Excuse me. Why do I not see the hit actors? It's probably on, yeah, there it is. It's right there. It's freaking private. That's why. Very early on, I wanted to make certain variables private, and then I stopped doing that entirely. And now it's just when I find those remaining few private ones, I'm like, that's I don't want you. I don't want you. Get head actors. We're gonna clear you. All right. Max once per frame. I do not need it to do more than once a frame. And then here, right, we need to do on trace attack. Well, no, hold on. This on trace attack also needs to be there. This entire thing. Right? It would need to be there. No. Just this part. Just this part. Okay. And then, oh, sorry. This part needs to be here, inside of it. So I need to take. Can I copy this entire thing? Probably not. Check hashtag. Yeah, that's fine. So we can use character reference. It's not gonna let me. Okay. This is action attack hold. So theoretically, we replace all of these. Here with it. Because this is all just for the tracing. You were feeling sleepy, but now you're not? Great, time to do more work. Yes. All the work. Okay, looking good. Oh, there's another one. This is... piercing attacks. Okay. I'm gonna miss some stuff, but that's fine. Once I compile, it'll throw me all the errors and we can fix them. Yep, like that. Like every single one that I'm using the location. And any other information of that sort. Get attack locations. Watch, once I finish all this, it's not going to work even a little bit, and it's going to be, and we're going to realize that it was all for naught. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, yeah, let's complain about all this. That's fine. I hit save on this. Okay, so now we can do trace attack here. Right? And inside of the character base here, this is going to be a little different, which is going to take...
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
You. And then bypass this. And whether or not it was hit also needs to be passed through. I'll be right back while ads are going. I'm back. Okay, so from here we can do on trace attack. We'll just check hit and this. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is there going to be a problem with this? It shouldn't. Theoretically, this should work. Theoretically, in actuality, will be very different. I'm going to kill all of this, so get rid of all the errors. And here on end, we're not going to do this. We're just going to take our timer. We're going to clear and validate it, which should stop this whole thing from going. Theoretically, we're about to find out how dumb I am. The answers vary before we even try, just so we're clear here. That looked good, but now what we need to do is add actors to ignore. We didn't need to do it before because it was on the character that was doing it. So now we do. So let's do that. That's a small little, thing. It can't hit itself, but let's find out. Well, they're taking damage. Are they? It's tracing, but it's not doing damage. Although that one took damage. Okay, hold on. Okay, so what's the problem? What is the problem? It's because it's saving the hit actors, but it's not saving the hit actors on... Yeah, and then it's outputting the hit actors. So what's the problem? Let's start with this. Print. Whether it's hit something. It seems like it's almost there. True 10 10 10. True. So it is detecting that it's hit. It's because it's because of this. Because of this hit actors. Isn't it? It's a local variable of hit actors. So, okay. This should not be a local variable of hit actors. This should be using the global variable of hit actors, which should be stored here. So, I want this to a variable. Hit actors. I don't think I need to clear it. But also, I don't need this false. This false does not need to exist. I'm pretty sure it should be cleared at the very beginning, but just in case, I guess. And then all of these. Oh, this is hit actors. Hold on. This needs to be. What? Hold on. Wait. Wait a second. Wait just a second. What is this hit actors? I'm clearing it. Oh, on trace attack, I check if it contains something. If it contains or does not contain that hit actor. Adding unique. Okay, so I do need to clear the hit actors. But then the question, real quick here is, but I wasn't clearing it before. I was clearing it on finish. Okay. So instead of this, I'm going to, okay. We don't want this hit actors. Got it. We do want the character ref one. But okay, so this is another one of the last one. Also need ignore character in a make array. Possibly. Hold on. Possibly. Here. What I'm doing is, out of everyone that's hit, I'm only storing them once, basically. So I don't send the information through multiple times. During the duration of a trace. Because I can send multiple, right? I don't want it being attacked every single time. right? So what I need to do is check that on here. So really, we should only be doing the damage in the end. At the end of everything. No. No, this is correct. This is correct. My brain is not braining today. Jesus Christ. Okay, the way it works right now is a trace goes off. If it hits an enemy on the first trace, it does the damage. If it traces that enemy again at any point in time afterwards, it does not hit the enemy. But if a new enemy shows up, it will hit that enemy. Okay. But that's why I'm storing all the enemies hit by this attack. But where can I put that information now? Because now every attack will need its own thing. Not just the trace information, right? Okay. What we can do is have it a local no, local won't work. I could try doing a pass by reference. I could try sending a reference through. Would that work? If I made this a... You guys can see it. I can't make it a pass by reference. Hold on. How do we store that information? Per attack now. The traces happen here. I can do the checks here. That's what we need to do. We need to do the checks here before I ever send the hit results. Is that what we need to do? I need to do this part? I need to do this part. As well. But then I still need then we're at the individual actor level. I don't want to do it at the individual level here. There's too much stuff here to do that way. Okay, how do we get around this? How do we get around this? Can I have it somehow in the attack? I can't send this information back to the attack, which is the whole thing. Functions get a reset every time, so I can't add or remove anything from it and save it. There's the last hurdle. There's the last hurdle, and then we have it working. It's progress of this last hurdle? Yeah, it's definitely progress. Definitely made progress. And I think this is the last hurdle for it to theoretically work. I mean, it should work. Based on what I'm seeing, it should work. But we're sending this through basically on a timer. You put it into a U object? What do you mean? Into an object? Just in general? What is... Yeah, I need to have it be an array or something, basically. How do we... Because I don't want to put this entire thing. I mean, the alternative is literally put this entire thing into that anim notify. Right? That's the alternative. Is this entire thing goes into anim notify. And then problem solved. I don't know about it being heavy. I don't think it's any heavier than just having it here. It's the same logic. You would only do this if it was successful anyway. But I don't know another way of getting rid of this hit actors. Because it has to be per attack. It has to be per the duration of a trace. So that means you have to keep that information, and then we're adding unique ones to it. some stuff has to happen no matter what, hit or not. So I can't just send in like successful hits, like hit actors. I can't do that either. So I might need to put this entire function inside the anim state. I don't really want to. I should preface this. But it would solve the problem. Would solve the problem. What do we have here? Do not hit self-check, camera shake, check hashtag. What's the issue? Get range. So basically, when you do an attack trace, right, that happens over time, you want to make sure that you don't hit the same actor multiple times. So you check if your array of actors has that actor, and if it does, then don't do anything. You already hit him during that trace, but if it doesn't, then add them to that array. But the fact that we have to add and remove things from an array means it has to be saved, not as a local variable. Because this whole thing triggers multiple times. It has to be a global variable. And if it's a global variable, we can't really put it on the character. As I think is the answer to everything. So let's try it. Let's try it. So we can actually do I mean, I guess we don't need this here at this point. Just do this. Rid of those. Okay. Attack hold duration. Okay, so we need to do lots of set attack duration. This is, I mean, this is very much all character specific, but to be fair, we're also casting to the character type that all of this is built on. So it's not like, oh no, I'm gonna have this happen on another thing. This is all fine. So this hit actors will now become a global variable in here. You pass in the hit actors into the ignore array, right? Pass it into the ignore array. No. What I do is I have a blank array, and then when I hit something, I check if it exists in that array, and if it doesn't, then I add it. But if it already exists, then we just ignore it. So it starts with a clean one, and then I add to it that says, hey, I already hit him. Don't try hitting him again. Hey, I already hit him. Don't try hitting him again. And then it clears it all again. That's kind of how that works. It's okay. This theoretically will work. I'm not completely against this, but we'll see. It will make some things possible that we couldn't do before. Because theoretically, then I could add the delay here and make it local or world and have multiple things happen at the same time, right? Like there's benefits. On the sphere trace itself, you could also add the same array to the actor's ignore, so it auto ignores. No, because all of that calculation, it was happening in this function. It was happening on the next function. And for me to do what you're saying is it has to do all of that and then send in the information only when it hits something new. But on a miss, I still need to do some things. So I can't just pass information when it hits something. I can send the information anyway. So it's a little complex on that front, but yeah. If it wasn't that I needed it, because when I miss, I want to play the miss sound.
Here, pausing for ads.
And there's some power-ups that are dependent on whether I hit or miss. So I can't just check for hit things and only send that. I have to send everything, in which case he has to do the calculations later. Yeah. So it's okay. We have confirmed that we can delay what happens in animation states, which I did not know until today. And the fact that you can delay it means we could do location-based delays per attack, per everything, after this is done. So, even though we have to like move giant sections over, I think in the end is going to be worth it. It's not damage. Here. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Let's continue. Gets attack, hold duration. Does anybody know why sometimes when you click duplicate something, it doesn't duplicate? Like, I'm just pressing Control D and just deselecting it. But Control C, Control V, most times works just fine. And I have not figured out why specifically Control D has so many issues. Anyone got any ideas? I doubt it. I'm curious. Okay. Those are over with. I think we only have a few. 70 Unreal doesn't allow you to copy paste either. I know that I've had it where you cannot even delete something. And the solution to that is always just to close and reopen that blueprint, and then it solves the problem. I don't know why it happens, but that's the solution. A reload level usually fixes it, but you have no idea what happens yet. The duplicate one's a little annoying. I don't know. Like, that one's... I wish it didn't happen. Like, right now, I just pressed duplicate, and just deselected it. Copy. Paste. Oh! Well, there's something new I didn't know about before. Here's the character reference, which has the component AC abilities inside of it. This takes AC abilities. If I just drag it in, it just gets it. I don't have to, like, search for it. I did that accidentally, and that just, I didn't know that works that way. Well, that's convenient as hell. Hey, Shrill Duck, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Use Control Z and it works 90% of the time on something that is not deleting. Oh, lovely. Yeah, you didn't know that either, Leo? Yeah, I just learned that. Oh, don't forget, you didn't know that. I've never tried. I always just get the variable and then plug it in. Yeah. I think you just like manually typing something. No, I just genuinely have never tried to put in a, like, because it's not the right variable. Why would it know what I needed to do? Yeah, I genuinely have never even tried it. Genuinely have never tried it. If you find anything else like that, Leo, question it. You're welcome to question why I do things. I encourage it, honestly, because I like learning ways to improve my workflow and make things faster and easier for myself. So if you ever see that for anything else, even if like, oh yeah, like I know, or just, hey, better safe than sorry for my my sorry self. Okay, so this is all then going to go in here. This is no longer, oh, this is no longer doing this one. It's doing this one. Attack info still goes through. And let's just do this. You know what I'm gonna do? Where's the return here? Just pass through. just there you go. Maybe they'll bring out smart blueprints. Look, I struggle with the dumb blueprints. I don't know if I want to have smart blueprints. Okay, let's just rename this to, I don't need this one anymore, but just to make this not have to redo all that stuff, it's fine. F2 usually renames everything that can be renamed. Thank you, Liz. I've never heard about that one. Okay, so theoretically, this should work. Now, for melee attacks. Okay. Let's find out. Well, that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me. Okay. Now, I want to see. I want to add a delay here. And see if it works with delay. So I'm going to add a delay. This might have also fixed any bugs that don't hit, if you're not mistaken. I don't think it should have any effect on it, but who knows? Could be. Promote this to a variable. This is going to be start delay. Let's put this here. And obviously the end delay. Copy, paste, because duplicate wasn't working, would also be delayed. For the same thing. You hate delays? Why? What'd they ever do to you? Could you imagine blueprints? You plug something into something, it does not work, so the blueprint yells at you. I don't work like that, so I'm plugging it here. I mean, look, I don't need blueprints yelling at me anymore. If they were explaining how and why they're yelling at me, I'd be fine with that. But they need to tell me why. They need to use their words. Okay, so what I want to see now is if I check out the wide swipe here and I add a start delay of 3 seconds. Let's see how this works. That didn't look like 3 seconds. Oh, this is air. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. I put in the wrong one. I put in the no, hold. I put in the wrong one. If there's some sort of logic that gets interrupted and the delay needs to be canceled, it can get canceled. Yeah. For things like that, yeah, I use timers. Yep. Okay. So the delay version would not work. if the animation can happen multiple times, it seems like it would not work. Yes, it needs to be a location-based thing. Sometimes. But I don't think it's... the location is not the problem. The problem is, did you notice that it only attacked once? I attacked multiple times, but it did the trace only once. So if I did 1, 2, that's 1. So I think the delay cannot exceed me triggering it again multiple times. And as long as that's the case, I imagine it would be fine for that part of it. 1, 2, yeah. So we can do delays, but it cannot be longer than the cooldown, which is fine. I think that's fine. I shouldn't need to trigger one thing so many times but be delayed that much. I feel like that's... at that point, I can just spawn an actor that has its own weird logic for that specific scenario, or something like that. In 99.99% of cases, this will be completely fine. In theory, you could have an ability, be a separate actor to have it use your own... yeah, exactly. In that specific scenario, that's what we would do. Yep. Yes, as he finished typing. So, okay. So delay kind of works. The next thing we need to do is make it local as an option. Okay, so let's add a Boolean. First of all, world space, or yes, location based. So where it has, so we're going to need to store the current location and the forward vector. So let's do that at the very beginning. We could do that. I'll need it for other things as well. Let's do it here. So what we can do is check if this is location based. If it is, get the character reference, and then get actor location. I mean, I could just use this. I don't even need to be whether it's location based. No, I'd want to, for the delays, would need this. Which means that I need to set this variable before the delay. That'd be very important. Saved location. That's what we just call it. Yeah, this needs to happen before the delay. Otherwise, we kind of are in a different spot by then. right? So here, and then we also need to get forward vector. And then we promote this to a variable. Saved forward vector. All right. And then, yeah, that looks good. And then in the trace attack, I don't need to do with this. That's the enemy one. I don't need to worry about that one. Scale 3D I can leave as is. Scale 3D, hold on. Where's the start here? Cleave forward vector. Ah, okay. So here, I'll use a select node based off of whether it is location based. If it is not, then it will continue using what it was. But if it is location based, then we're using the saved forward vector. Also, I should save the forward vector based on this. But it, what do I need to save is this information instead of what I was just saving. Get capsule component. I don't need to do the combine rotators thing. That's where we save. Instead of this, I'm just going to change this to a float and change. All your abilities are its own accuracy and modify what it needs to then die. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but what I didn't like the idea of spawning and destroying those actors all the time, especially because later down the line I'll probably want to do the thing that I believe you were talking about a little bit ago, which is the pool, the actor pool, or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. But you know what I'm talking about, right? So this still goes there. And then we just change this one. Also thinking about doing actor pool for abilities, but you're trying to wrap your head around how the hell would it even work. I don't know. I mean, you could not do it, right? That is always the option. So Max range. It's up a little. Okay. What's the problem? Oh, it's because it's just recalculate it. It's fine. Certain abilities require binds, timers, and a bunch of other things that need to be reset on creation. Yeah, it would be a pain in the butt. I completely agree. What I'm going to do is also, if I forget to do location based, I'm going to do location based or timer is greater than 0. If the start delay is greater than 0, or this location based, because in either case, I'll just want to do it automatically. I'd want to do location based. And because if it's either one of these, I'll make sure that location base is just set to true here. Just in case I'm going to reset it. I don't think I need to. But just in case. Thinking of making a map with ability class and the key in an array of ability-based actors. Then each ability can potentially be unique to where you may never even call it more than once. So then what's the point of it? Yeah, if it's something like that, then yeah, there's no point. So I'm curious, what is the system where you have a lot of unique abilities or unique whatever that you potentially would only call only once? Like, what kind of stuff do you have? I'm curious. Because usually, like, abilities would you'd be able to just reuse abilities, I would think. Passives. For passives, my stuff just gives me a gameplay tag, and then based on gameplay tag, things happen. Like in whatever graph that it's using, it just checks, has gameplay tag, yes, no, whenever it triggers. So I don't think you need active stuff. Same thing with persistent. Anything that has to do with like always on or off, it just, whenever it's need to be used, it just says, hey, do you have this tag or not? At least that's the way I do it. A passive that can increase crit damage based on status effects. So you have your logic for your status effects, and right before that logic for the status effects, you have, do you have this gameplay tag? And if yes, do it, otherwise ignore it. So you don't need to like spawn anything for it, you just give yourself a tag. Something like that would need to check enemies in range for enemies with status effects. Oh, okay, enemy, got it. But then, so I have an ability sort of like that with my auras and my orbs. So, for example, sure, I mean, in the aura. Right, so I get an aura. So this is a effect that gets added to me. And it gives me a tag. And then basically I check, hey, do I already have this tag? Which means I already have the aura. And the next time I get it, I don't add the component to me. I just modify the current component. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but I'm just explaining how it's set up for mine. Gameplay tag manager not only tracks gameplay tags, but also if they're integer stacks. Got it. How do you track the stacks? Do you have a variable per gameplay tag in like in a map or struct, I assume, based on gameplay tag? Or did I mess up? Oh. It helps when I... freaking plug things in properly.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Okay. Moment of truth after ads play. Map of gameplay and okay, yeah. Add or remove tag stacks by mount, yeah. I will say I like maps in theory, but using them is so like it's such a pain. I'm just gonna say it. Using maps is a pain because the whole get values and then or get you can get the two different kinds and they're separate arrays instead of like a struct where you just get it and you just have both. That's what I want, like an ideal. I just want them to be 2 unit structs, like in terms of usability. Using them with structs specifically is a pain. Oh my god, I can imagine. By the way, just for, in case you don't know, and you ever decide to do a multiplayer game, maps are not supported in multiplayer. Map variables, basically not supported. Because they do not server client thing. They don't the word. I forget the word. Replicate it. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, they cannot be replicated. I learned that a while ago. So just as a heads up that if go use maps, single player, go nuts, completely fine, but they cannot be replicated. Don't ask me why. I don't know multiplayer enough to even to answer anything like that. But just know that is the case. That didn't seem like it worked. Oh, what's going on? Oh. Order of operations. Order of operations is important. Just got. Good job, me. You know that variable that you're trying to access? Yeah, you're saying that after. Good job, mate. Current game is single player and you have no plans of making it multiplayer? Good. I don't know why I said good, but the balancing nightmare it would be if even 2 players were allowed to be on the map. What about 3? Or 1.5? Don't ask me what the half is. A child. Do you know you can convert casts to pure casts? Yeah, I know. I remember that, but I don't know a scenario where I want to do this. Because I remember, if I recall, this has issues with something. Like, that's not like something you should just always do. And I don't know a scenario where I specifically would want to have a pure cast. I guess I could theoretically have a pure cast in an animation graph where you cannot have an execution pin. In those scenarios, yeah, a pure cast could work. Imagine you have 4 players, 8 whole classes, and all they can do is Jesus. The map gets wiped. Yeah. The boss is instant. Well, then you would scale the health, right? Problem solved. Scale the health. Easy peasy. Okay, why is it not working now? Now what's the problem? That's not the problem, but so it should go here. Start with that. And it's gonna be perma CC because everyone would change. Well, that's the thing. You just have give them a bigger. Yeah. So it's. Why is it here? Okay, where did I mess up or forget to do a... Oh, wait, I did the forward vector. I never did the location. Where's the location one? Oh, right there. Well, there's the problem. I did the forward vector one, but... As always, I do things and I forget to plug things in. Falls here. Save location here. Scale 3D is fine. I'm not changing my scale randomly between attacks. And if I manage to scale, sure, that's fine. Save that. Yes! Oh, ta-da! Location based! We can do a delay. Dear God. This was all melee. I mean, to do the range and spells now is very easy. But that was like, we all did the old test with melee. Let me, before I forget though, let me reset the delay on this. One thing I am concerned about, and let me just double check. I guess I can just double check on the other attacks just in general. Is that none of the other collisions and all got reset, right? Yeah, all my other information is correct. Okay. Whew. Where's the collision on that one? Oh, this one's different. Right. We're gonna need to modify the collisions on that attack to use the delayed option. Multiple times. We'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that one later. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. We're not using execute attack anymore. Let's go ahead and go to here. I mean, I'm gonna get rid of all so many functions and everything. So this whole range thing is different. So we need to grab this, and then spell is gonna be using basically the same setup as the melee. So that's convenient. Did I not click copy? By the way, I don't know if you guys know. I have basically both of these are on the character because it has the interface and it has effectively modified the interface because it has a result, so it's also on the character. So it's the same thing. But I don't know if there's any difference in actually call which one you call. I've always just grabbed the one that's on the character, but the result is the same. So I don't know if there's actually like a difference that matters. But I don't know if anyone knows. You add a multiplayer map for your ability struct. There's no way to reliably track different instances of damage. A multiplier, not a multiplayer. Little different. Spell goes here. For blueprint interfaces, it matters. I mean, I've always used the one on the character. I have had no issues, so hopefully I'm doing it fine. The struggles be all the entire multiplayer map. Oh, dragging it in is so nice. And this is not gonna work, right? No, that's not gonna work because that's not a. But is this gonna work? No. So it's only for components? Fine. Look, I had to check at this point. What's the difference here? Oh, right, multi-directional versus projectile attack. It is different. And that should allow them to do projectile attacks again. Not them, just everyone. Should now be able to do projectile attacks. Let's confirm. Yeah. Looks good. That looks good. And now if we go to this, so we need to have the attack again. Yeah, here we need to have the attack, and here we need to have the attack. Okay, but it works. So that means that on the player, do I dare delete it already? I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off deleting it, but I'm gonna mark it for deletion. I'm not gonna do it at the end of the stream, just in case. I'll rethink about it on Monday, you know. But where is it? Where is it? This Sunday, as promised, Layers of Fear at 3 p.m. Pacific. I said I was gonna do it. There's no good place for me to go. Oh, there, right there. I don't block anything there. The word's there. Layers of Fear. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna schedule it on YouTube. Goes there for Sunday at 3 p.m. I'm playing Layers of Fear as promised. Scary game. I don't know anything about it. I played it for 20 minutes at one point, apparently. I think a lot of that was just me going through the options and making sure it plays back then. So probably didn't even play it for that long. I am going to try to beat it. I did look it up. It's like 3.5 to 5 hours, depending on how casual you are. Probably 5. So I'm going to try to, beat it on Sunday. The whole thing. Hope you get scared easily. I generally don't know at this point. The last time I played this game, which is the last time I played any horror game of any kind, was a long time ago. Last time was 2017. So I do not play scary games. I do not like scary games. No. So it'll be interesting. I'm not a scary game enjoyer. I'm not a scary movie enjoyer. I don't like scary in general. So we will see. But the last time I touched anything was 8 hours. Or 8 hours. 8 years ago. You love Dead Space? I've never played. I've watched playthroughs of Dead Space by Jesse Cox. And like I can watch like horror games. It's the playing that's always different. Like, cause I can watch it no problem. Doesn't bother me one bit. But playing it is different. So we will see how it goes on Sunday. Yep. And also, here's the tutorial that I'm making for Sunday's video. It's October. It's spooky. Ooh, lights turning on and off based on character proximity. Very simple to do with PCG to spawn this entire pathway and have lights that flicker. Ooh, spooky. When the remake happened, you got somewhat immune to sort of the jump scares. Oh, are there jump scares in the game? I'm not surprised. Spooktober BCG, yeah. We'll see if I can do a little Spooktober BCG. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that'll be the tutorial for Sunday. Someone asked about it yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was that we were looking at things to do. So it's relatively simple, but should be good. You know what's the most interesting passive you're dreading to make? Tell me all about it. There's a Fate Weaver. Oh god. These all of the tarot cards, because you couldn't have enough abilities, you decided to put tarot cards in as passive effects. Why don't you just not do that one? That sounds like complicated as hell. Because now you have to give entire deck's worth of passives? Are you just making my game, but just different effects? You have decks, it's all passives. Sounds very familiar. It's one class? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, you do like to scope big. That's for sure. Anyways. I'm happy that we got it figured out. That was a headache. The rogue is uber simple. Yeah, the rogue is uber simple. The game is uber complex. But it does sound interesting, Leo. You know what? It does sound interesting. So that's the main thing. Yeah. That's the main thing. Anyway. Thank you very much for watching. I guess Sunday stream in 2 days. I'll schedule it right after I end this one. Hope you all have a wonderful couple of days, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Bye bye.